what do you think is the number one most impactful thing for the families that have been on the trips? Is there one thing that sticks out to you? Is it just that mindset shift around focusing more time on that, or is there something else there that you guys are seeing in those groups?
I'll jump in here. I think that whether it's on our trips or even just as we're talking to people online, paid ad or not, there is a general consensus that I want more for my kids.
Yeah.
Right? Especially for entrepreneurs, 85% of us are first gen wealth. And so whatever we've done is most likely not the life that we lived growing up.
Yeah.
And so we want to give to our kids a life that we didn't have, but we also don't want them to be entitled. We're tired of whether it be taking a trip or just really doing anything, even like going to church without it having purpose.
Yeah.
This group, this avatar, this down-to-earth, family-oriented, growth-minded, business owner is like, I want to do things calculated. Not necessarily like everything has to be planned out and precise. That's not what I mean by calculated, but like intentional, like we talked about on our show. Like I want to just think about what it is that I actually want. What do I need to do to get that? And then everything else that doesn't help me, I just remove it.
Yeah.
And so people, I think, are seeing events or whatever, like I was saying, just differently. All that to say that when it comes to their children, or growing their children, or putting them in an environment with other entrepreneur kids, or getting them around other adults that are amazing.
Yeah.
I think entrepreneurs will often do more for their kids than they would even be willing to do for themselves.
Right.
So that's the typical, not maybe typical, but the general like loud voice that I hear is, oh my gosh, like this was amazing for us, but like what my son or what my daughter got from this, like,
yeah,
I can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
Intentionality was going to be the word that I was going to answer your question with. But to just piggyback some of the conversation that Chaz just had there is, we have these multiple environments where fathers and sons, families together are getting the opportunity to spend time, and relationships are happening with these kids. They're growing up with each other, with other like-minded entrepreneurial children.
Yeah.
And we have a youth community inside of Gathering the Kings, a student community called Generation Next. And I got a message yesterday on our platform because one of the Generation Next students is like super excited to show the rest of the group tonight a logo for his new business that he and another buddy brainstormed on the beach a couple of months ago. And
That's awesome.
He's continued to like further that thought.
Yeah.
And, it's just being in those environments instead of, talking about Pokemon and Fortnite, they're talking about, how do we grow the lemonade stand?
Yeah. How do we build a business? Yeah. And I think it's going to be interesting to see that transition over the next, 5-10 years, what that looks like with the generation that's coming up right now. Right.
Yeah.
Having seen the technology improvements, having seen the things that have changed so rapidly, even over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Right. It'll be interesting to see how that generation responds and reacts to those things. So that's exciting. It's exciting to see that.
It's also inspirational for us. Like, I mean, I'm a pretty inspired dude. Like I get up with a lot of energy and a lot of muster, but speaking of just our community of kids, like I'm thinking of a 14-year-old who is totally into airlines and planes and aviation. And he knows everything about all of them. Like, no joke. Like, he could tell you the fastest plane, the slowest plane, the biggest, I mean, all of it. And he's in the process of getting his pilot's license. And he was in Punta Cana on our family trip just a month or two ago. And so he's been messaging me on our platform about his new business. And I'm like, okay, I'm excited about this. What's he going to do? He wants to have like a luxury date night business where he links up couples that want to go like fly over the Rockies and then have dinner because it's attached to aviation. He's really excited about it. And I'm like, hey, okay, that's, first off, I'm blown away that a 14-year-old is thinking like this, because how many adults would be like, the not possible, people won't pay for that or whatever. You're like, no,
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, how much are you going to charge? He's like, well, actually, the private jets that I know about are going to be between like $4,000 and $20,000. And I could do the whole thing for that. But I'll do the cheaper one. We'll just fly over the Rockies and then they'll come back and do dinner at this place in my hometown. Or if they really want to go all out, we'll get them on a larger private jet, go over the Rockies, over to Arizona from Colorado, and they'll do dinner at this specific spot, and then they'll come back. And that is inspiring.
Yeah.
Whether he does that or not.
Yeah.
Just to know that his little brain is working, and I get to push back and go, okay, well, what about this and what about that, and have you and who's going to buy this and where are you going to find them, and like these are marketing tactics, like actual ways to market a business that a 14-year-old is thinking about. This is awesome.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you on that. I think if you can inspire the next generation to start thinking through those things. I mean, I know it's like my desire for my kids is, to let them stand on my shoulders and do the things that I couldn't reach and do the things that I couldn't do, right?
Yeah.
You're going to know that much more because of the experiences that I have that I can now pour into you, right? At the same time, right?
100%.
Whether they use them or not, whatever direction they decide to go, right? Just being able to kind of share that with the next generation, from our kids' standpoint, I think that's an awesome deal.
I think that every adult wants to leave a legacy for their child.
Yeah.
Legacy is not just the amount of money that's in the bank when you die.
Right.
Legacy is the knowledge that you pass on and you push through the next 1 or 2 generations of people inside of your family. I think that there's a desire to leave a legacy, but the lack of know-how on how to push that knowledge through to the next generation or the next 2 generations of family members.
Yeah.
That's where there's a disconnect. And so it really, over the course of the last year and a half for us, has turned into, sure, we can connect you with people that are going to help you set up the trusts and, hedge all of the financial stuff, and it can all be there.
Yeah.
But the difference between the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts are a great example of this. And if you're not teaching people how to steward the legacy, how to steward the resources, and how to grow them, then it doesn't matter what you leave.
Yeah. Yeah, that totally makes sense. It's funny because I was just thinking about this while we were talking about all these things. So our show is much more, around technology and how technology is being used in businesses and those kind of things. And I think a lot of times, a lot of us put too much emphasis on the technology piece, and we don't think enough about the interconnectivity between people, the connection between people,
right?
And the preparation, the thought process, like all the things we've been talking about, mindset. Because like you can put a massive engine on a tiny car, but if the tiny car doesn't have wheels, it's still not going to go anywhere, right? And so you've put all this time and emphasis on like, oh, we need to build a system, we need to have the technology to be able to do these things, but they've never stopped long enough to think about, okay, what is the actual mindset and requirement behind it to make sure that it's actually going to get you somewhere, right? It's like, it's basically you've got the engine, but you don't have any wheels. So you're still not going anywhere because you haven't put the right emphasis on the right things. I'm curious, in the family discussions, how much of a conversation are any of them having around technology and screen time with their kids and some of those kind of things?
Yeah, it's a good question. We haven't addressed screen time per se, although I would venture to say that most of the families have some sort of a no more screen time,
Yeah.
There's a general, not only just awareness, I would say a hyper awareness, at least probably in our community. At least it was in Punta Cana for sure. But, okay, like they need to understand, but like them learning some of the other things of life is also as important, and probably more so.
Yeah.
I think it's super interesting. Like our family, my daughter is 11, and her and my younger daughter is 9, and then their friend, who I think is 10 or 11 in the neighborhood. And so they've been writing a play the last, week or two. And this is just totally in their like free time. They decided to write a play. I have no idea how they got this idea, why they got this idea. I don't know. I think it's fun, like Finding Dorothy, like the cousin of the Nemo fish.
That's funny.
Anyway, my natural instinct was, oh my gosh, ChatGPT and we can build this out. And but I held back because I loved the creativity that was flowing on their own.
Yeah.
And so then she said, like, we're really loving this, but like it's only like 5 minutes. And so we're thinking about not doing it. I'm like, well, first off, that's not a reason not to do it. You should totally just do it. I was like, but you could use ChatGPT to help you maybe make the scenes a little bit longer. I felt like they kind of exhausted their own creativity.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, Dad, we did that from the beginning. I'm like, got it.
Pulled in the ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. And which I love that, because for me, I definitely don't want them to be, screen children at all.
Yeah.
We live on 15 acres and there's a pond and a creek and chickens, and they need to be outside.
Yeah.
But like, how powerful is it to be able to be grounded like that? but then also know that there's real technology that can help fast forward things for them.
Yeah, there are tools that you can use.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a replacement of their creativity. It can be an addition to, you know?